Well, happy Saturday and greetings from Radio Wasteland Records here in Midland. Hopefully you guys are off to a good start today. It's going to be a beautiful one here. Supposed to warm up a little bit later on, but hey, you know what? It is Michigan. It is summer, and we are going to just have our best with that. So a couple of good mornings to get off the way first. Jeff, good morning to you, and Ann, happy Saturday to you as well. Greetings, Pat, from the campsite. That's good. You are really roughing it out there, sir. Good to hear. All right. So first off, let me just say, if you're watching us on YouTube this morning, welcome, and make sure you hit that subscribe button. We're bouncing back and forth right around 460 some odd subscribers, and it's weird. We get one, we lose one. I don't know what I'm doing to tick people off, but hey, I guess that means I'm doing something right in this day and age if they're getting angry with me. So we'll take it as we get it. But please do. Good morning, Chuck. Thank you for being here as well as Betty. Good morning from Toledo, and for being here, as Jeff says yo, and Gary is saying hi this morning. Good morning to you as well. And Pat is glamping. There we go. I knew it. All right. So yeah, please do hit that subscribe button on YouTube. We're trying to get those numbers up a little bit here and there to make sure our YouTube experience is where it needs to be. Quick follow-up on Wednesday's record show. If you caught that, I complained a little bit about a big label shorting us out, and somebody is knocking on the door here already. Holy cow. We'll get to them in a minute, but I complained a little bit about the situation with the Billie Eilish release. Now, if you get a chance, go back and watch last week's record show, the Wednesday one, where I talk a little bit more in depth about what happened. But the end result is that we got our shipment of new releases late yesterday afternoon because of that. And we only got enough of the Billie Eilish to cover a few of the pre-orders. And so I'll be contacting the rest of the folks today that did not get high enough on that list to get that. I don't know when and if I'm ever going to get more of the Billie Eilish indie exclusives, but we'll have to wait and see. But in the meantime, next week, I do have some black vinyl versions showing up for those of you that would like one of those and not opt for one of the big box store color variations, you know, just on the principle of the thing. So Tyler, good morning. Yeah, see you in a little bit today, as well as Scott. Good morning to you. A couple of other new releases, though. We did get back in with that late thing. I'm getting these priced now today. We got the new Prince release, previously unreleased albums from his vault. This is Welcome to America. We have the double LP version of this. One side is etched, so it's 3 sides of music. I joke around a lot about the Prince estate. There's enough stuff to keep them going for years, but eventually they're going to release Prince's answering machine, his voicemail messages, on a remix deluxe box set, and folks will still run out to get them. And Aretha, 2 LP vinyl. This is from like an abbreviated version of the big box set we talked about, but it is a double LP with some of her biggest hits on here, as well as some of her later stuff is as well. The Freeway of Love is on here, and Respect, obviously going back a little bit further, some live stuff as well. So it's really kind of a cool release. We'll get that out. Yola is this just came in as well. This is her Stand for Myself on neon pink vinyl. Yola is a English singer-songwriter. She bounces around between jazz and pop stylings, a little bit of soul sounds in there. It really kind of goes all over the place, but she is a very interesting artist if you get a chance to check her music out. We got a couple of those in stock. Reissue of the Specials Ghost Town for you ska fans. Good to go on splatter vinyl, so some cool stuff there, as well as we've got a copy of the new Halloween album on gold vinyl, double LP with a booklet inside for you fans of that as well. Then looking back to Record Store Day, we got a couple copies of Tad. I keep saying Tad the Inhaler. That's not quite right, but Tad Inhaler. This was the Record Store Day release. I think we've got 2 copies of this real cool 1993 grunge classic back in as well to check out. Copy of Fish. This is the white tape. This was released about 2 or 3 weeks back. It is on silver and white splatter vinyl. Kind of a cool get for you Fish fans. Early stuff. Speaking of Fish, well, not Fish. How about Gish? We got a copy of the Smashing Pumpkins reissue of Gish, the groundbreaking, iconic debut album remastered from Corrigan and crew. We do have one copy of that left in as well. On that front, I did get some reissues. Some folks were looking for Cage the Elephant, and so we got a couple copies. A lot of that is back ordered, but we do have a couple copies of Tell Me I'm Pretty in the store. And then finally, we do have one left of the Black Pumas Capital Cuts, but I also have their full album, the deluxe edition on colored vinyl. Great album from the Black Pumas. And then also on the recently released, but finally got back in stock, Michigan artist Billy Strings. This is his home LP. Some very cool bluegrass. We got word that Billy Strings is teaming up with Bela Fleck, banjo virtuoso Bela Fleck, and that is going to be just a phenomenal bluegrass album. More details on that as that gets a little bit closer to it. Speaking of Michigan artists, long out of print and super rare on the original side is the MacArthur, Ben MacArthur from Saginaw, going back to the late 70s, early 80s, I think, on the original one. If you ever find an original one of these, snag them. I'll give you $10 for it. So there we go on that. Greetings from West Michigan. Good morning, Rick, as well. And yes, the Black Pumas are phenomenal. And Chuck is saying Tad. All right, we also do have another album from a Michigan artist, and for this, I'm going to bring in someone who's a little bit more expert on this than I am. Ladies and gentlemen, welcoming to the record show, the one, the only Katie Gleason, daughter Katie, hanging out at Radio Wasteland Records, the Lansing branch. Good morning, Katie.
Good morning.
Thanks for coming on short notice today. You're working at the radio station still, right?
Yes, absolutely. Got up at 6 this morning, got back at 8. Hanging out at
WILS in Lansing for those that are curious.
1320 WILS AM.
There we go. You can catch Katie pretty much every afternoon, right?
Every afternoon, mostly Thursday through Tuesday through Thursday. I don't know what day it is anymore.
Ann says hi, as does Pat. So hi to you.
Hello.
As well, I asked Katie to help me out with this because this next artist has been kind of difficult to find on vinyl other than his website. This is an artist called Michigander, and his album, Everything Will Be Okay Eventually. It's not even really an album. It is it's an EP, a 6-song EP. But this guy is, what's his name?
Jason Singer.
There we go. He is from Midland originally.
He's from Midland, yeah.
And
he's from Midland, Katie, and I went to high school with him.
Katie went to high school with him, and now he is a big indie star. How big of an indie star, you may ask? What's he up to this weekend?
Currently, he is at Lollapalooza, and he is playing at, what time is he playing? He's playing at 1:50 this afternoon at Lollapalooza in Chicago.
So kind of a big deal. You're locking up a bit there, Katie. You're still streaming his music, aren't you?
No, I'm
not. There we go. But he's kind of breaking through on the indie side, isn't he?
Yeah, he's been doing music for a really long time.
There we go. Katie's locking up. He's been doing music for a really long time, and we'll get to Katie in just a second here when it looks like she's opened up there. But we do have a couple copies of this for those of you who want. There, Katie is back. For those of you who wish to, nope. Katie is locked up and going to try to get back in. But it is really kind of an indie pop thing. I was going to have Katie describe that a little bit. It's, I don't want to say generic indie pop, but it is along those lines. Not ultra cool. There's Katie, right? It's not phenomenal indie pop. How's that?
Yeah. He sounds a lot like everybody else is the thing. Which, maybe you don't care for anything that's like super out there, or like something that you're like, whoa, like I can totally tell like this has like this specific sound. He is indie pop. So
okay, and that's good. Well, that's good in some respect. But so we're doing a really good job selling this record, aren't we?
I mean, it's good. It's stuff you'd find on an indie pop playlist. If you like indie pop, you like it.
And quite frankly, too, the novelty of having the album of somebody who is from Midland as well.
Yeah.
And lots of folks, well, I was going to say lots of folks may have went to high school with him, but the high school you guys went to didn't have lots of folks. It was Midland Academy, so there was.
I think His graduating class was probably the second largest, and I think it was only 14.
Wow. Okay. As compared to yours, which was 8.
8.
So there we go. One other good morning.
Hi,
Grandma
Grandma.
says hi to both. There we go. Okay, well, help me out here, Cato. We've got a couple of other albums to go.
Mhm.
You know this one as well. This was a favorite of young James's. We've got a reissue of the Court of the Crimson King. The Stephen Wilson
Yeah.
remix is in store. An essential Bob Dylan, his greatest hits, double LP, 28 tracks, spanning 6 decades for the Dylan.
I don't think
There's
he's
some
all
other
that great
stuff.
either. If we're gonna be fair, to everybody, I'm gonna
Oh.
throw in my hot takes. I don't think Bob Dylan's that great either.
You know what? And Katie, I'm going to say for a longer part of my life, I was the same way with that. I was like, it's Bob Dylan, but I'm starting to get into it. And I think you would eventually too, if you start. Yes, I'm starting to get into some Dylan. You may agree with me.
Who are you?
Down the line. Okay. Tom Petty's greatest hits. We've got a copy of that, as well as a music on vinyl reissue of Blind Melon. Really good sounding stuff. A couple of country ones that made their way in. We've got the Luke Combs. What You See Is What You Get, double LP from him, as well as another couple copies of Garth Brooks's No Fences. It Brooks's? Garth Brooks. Garth Brooks as with an apostrophe after the S. Okay. Now, Katie, we've talked about this a little bit, and I know as we there we go.
Okay, I didn't say he was bad. I said he's not great.
There we go, George. There we go. And we're getting a hi from
Good
Toledo to
morning.
you as well, Katie, as well.
Listen. I didn't say he was bad.
Bacon General, the Tom Petty double LP is, I have to look real quick and then we'll talk one, and I got to get going. I haven't priced it yet. It's usually in the $35 range. That's how late we are with that. Okay, folks, before I wrap up today, we have got to cover a couple of things. The drop video from yesterday had a lot of metal. It had Viking metal in it. Who knew? Lots of odd metal hitting that, and it's picked over, but there still are a few of the real cool oddities left. Back up and check out the drop video on Facebook and YouTube from yesterday. But also, you saw the beginning edges of that punk collection that we have talked about last week on the live. I mentioned that we picked up a big punk collection, and they're going to start worming their way into your ears via that. And we've got a couple of them out there. This one is, it's from a group called Scratch Acid. Think really kind of a more polite Butthole Surfers type of sound, but this is Berserker. Yeah, Katie laughs at that. As well as their self-titled, is it the self-titled? I believe so, they're self-titled. Now, here's the thing with this punk collection, folks. As this hits, they're rare. And I keep shocking myself. I'm going to hyperventilate while I'm cataloging these things because I go, when I look at the Discogs prices on these, because they are not going to be cheap. There are some cool, moderately priced ones in there, but there's a lot of stuff that's up there now. We invested a lot in this collection to get it here to the store. So we're going to be charging Discogs fair prices on these as well. The other thing is, too, these are in demand on Discogs. And when I put them out, and I'm just going to be upfront with you on this, when they hit the shelves at the store, they're going to be there for maybe 2 weeks tops before we list them on Discogs. And with the prices on some of them, I know you're going to have to be deciding whether or not you want to get them. And that's cool. I'll give you a couple of weeks on that. But they are in such demand on Discogs that they are going to go. In fact, one of the ones I showed last week, won't say what, is gone already, based upon me holding it up and somebody who is outside of our store radius seeing it and contacting us and getting it that way. So be looking for this punk collection. What's that?
Stop holding them up if I don't see them first.
Oh, there we go. There we go. I'm not sure this is up your alley either.
No.
Right. Scratch Acid is not for everyone. I played them on the air back in the 80s on Radio X. So, hey,
you can do whatever you want.
All you need to know. All right. So, folks, that's how it is. Katie, thank you very much for helping us out today.
Yeah, I'm going to drop the bomb that I don't like Bob Dylan and leave you for that. So
that's all right. She'll come around. Don't forget, we've got some copies of the Michigander. Jason, what's his name? Jason Singer.
It should be easy to remember. It's what he does.
When you put it like that, the light comes on. There we go. All right. but he is from Midland. There we go. All right, folks, we are open today. I know there's a couple of somebody's waiting outside today, so we'll get the doors opened up.
Radio
from
Wasteland
now
Lansing
until 6.
is closed.
Radio
Please do not
Wasteland
come to
Lansing
Radio
is closed.
Wasteland. Please
So
don't
we're
come
here today from now until 6 p.m., open tomorrow, 12 noon until 5. Please stop by to see us. And just as always, please watch our YouTube channel. Please subscribe. Katie, why do I want people to subscribe? What benefit does that have for us?
Because number one, if people watch your videos while you're not live, you get ad revenue, and you've probably made 16 cents.
I don't get ad revenue until we hit 1,000 subscribers.
Oh my
and we're nowhere
God.
near that. Yeah, that's the way that works.
Let's at least get to 500, and maybe then you'll get like a little plaque.
Send me a participation trophy. YouTube participant. There we go.
You're already 4 times as popular than I am. I only have 100 subscribers, but I hit 100.
There we go, Cato. All right, folks. I guess Katie and I could just have this conversation between us any old time since we've got that. But Katie, thanks for helping me out with the Jason Singer album today, Michigander. We'll have those in store. So you folks have a great week, and we will talk to you next time from the Wasteland. And Katie, I will talk to you sometime right afterwards.
Hopefully soon.
Thanks, folks. Have a great one.
Goodbye.